Starting a business, it feels like you need a mountain of cash, right? And this insane tolerance for risk. But what if there's another way? A totally different path? That's what we're digging into today. A strategy that kind of sidesteps all that noise by focusing on these small, super smart opportunities that are hiding in plain sight. Okay, so what if I told you that for the price of a mid-range phone, you could own a machine that prints money while you sleep? I mean, that's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? But it gets right to the heart of what we're talking about here. And look, this isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. No way. It's about a fundamental shift in how you think, a perspective shift that can take a tiny investment and turn it into a real, honest-to-goodness business. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start with a problem I think a lot of us know all too well. It's this thing called the entrepreneur's dilemma. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's that massive gap between the dream of building something for yourself and the reality, which usually looks like an impossible mountain to climb. I mean, that dream of being your own boss, of making something that's truly yours, it's so powerful. But for most people, that's all it ever is, a dream. And why? Because the traditional path is just loaded with barriers. It's complicated, it's packed with competition, and of course the big one, it costs a ton of money. And here it is, the number that just stops most dreams cold. $15,000. That's the average cost just to get a small business up and running. Think about that. For a lot of us, that's a level of risk it's a non-starter. It's way too high. So this really lays out the two different roads you can take. Over on the left, that's the standard playbook, right? High cost, high risk, trying to fight it out in a super crowded market. But look over on the right. There's a totally different approach, a path with low costs, low risk, and it's all about harnessing the power of a really specific, dedicated niche market. And this is what we're calling the hidden gems path. So what exactly is this hidden gems philosophy? Well, you can think of it as a new way to see things, a mental model that completely changes what a business even means. We're not talking about building the next Amazon here. It's about finding a small, super passionate community and giving them a simple, perfect solution to one of their problems. Okay, so at the heart of this whole thing is something we're calling a hidden gem machine. And let's be clear, this doesn't have to be some crazy high-tech gadget. It's really just any simple, affordable tool that lets you offer a valuable service to a very, very specific group of people. The machine itself, it's just the key that unlocks the door. And there are a few key rules that tell you if you found a real hidden gem opportunity. First, the investment has to be under, say, $450. Second, it's got to be compact and easy to operate, something you could literally run from your desk. And the most important one, it has to solve a real, nagging little problem for a group that the big companies just completely overlook. Okay, so theory is one thing, but let's make this real, let's get tangible. I'm going to show you a couple of perfect examples of these hidden gem machines in action, and you'll see these surprisingly profitable markets they open up. Let's see how this actually works out there. All right, first example, the mini thermal printer. You've probably seen these things. They're tiny, they don't use ink, they're super cheap to buy and run, and they just spit out labels and stickers. Seems pretty basic, right? But just wait. Okay, this is where the magic happens. You're not just selling stickers. No way. You're providing custom branding for Etsy shops. You're creating professional-looking ingredient labels for local food producers. You're making shipping a breeze for tiny online boutiques. See? Each one of those is a dedicated community that is more than happy to pay for something that helps their little business grow. Let's do another one. Example number 2, a branding iron. Again, super simple, low-cost tool. It's basically a hot piece of metal with a logo on it. But its value has nothing to do with the tool itself. It's all about that professional, personal touch it adds to something. And again, think about the people you're serving. You're not just selling a branding iron. You're selling a signature, a mark of pride, to a woodworker who puts their heart into their craft. You're giving a mark of authenticity to a leather artisan. You could even be helping a local bakery stamp their logo onto their burger buns. You are literally serving the passion of that niche. Okay, so this probably has you thinking, how do I find one of these for myself? Well, it's not about luck. You don't just stumble upon some magic machine. It's actually a clear process. It's all about observing and having a little empathy. So let's walk through the 4 steps. Step 1, identify a niche community. Look for groups of people who are passionate about something. Could be hobbyists, small business owners, anything from artisanal soap makers to folks who restore vintage bikes. Step 2, find their small scale need. Just listen to them. What's that small, repetitive task they always complain about? What could be easier or more professional? Step 3, source the low-cost machine. Go find the tool that solves that one specific need for under $450. And finally, step 4, serve the niche. Become the go-to provider for that one specific solution. And this right here, this is the most important takeaway. Literally anyone can go out and buy a machine. That's the easy part. The real magic, the actual business, is in finding that underserved group and dedicating yourself to solving one of their small but super annoying problems. Remember, the machine is just the tool. The service you provide to that community, that is the business. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. As you go about your week, start looking at the world through this new lens. Really pay attention to the hobbyists, the creators, the small business owners all around you. And ask yourself, what's that one little problem they're always dealing with? Because I guarantee you, somewhere inside that small problem, there's a hidden gem of an opportunity just waiting for you to find it.